Hi guys, this is Trailhound here again. I have a 32-ounce monster can here, cut down. This is the same exact size as a Foster's can. And what I wanted to do was do a walkthrough of how I get my my reducing rings in there, the do-it-yourself cut down pot rings in there. And I have here a top of a can that is often used for this. This is aluminum. I use aluminum. It's the same size as a steel can though, and the bottom of another can. And this is just a standard cat food can. And what I want to do is show you the process that I go through to insert these rings. And that's going to be pretty much just using the cat food can and a wooden mallet is what I use. So I'm going to show you here. Hopefully the camera's going to pick up what I'm going to do here. What I'll do is I'll take the cat food can and I'll put it in at an angle, right? Just so that I can get the one side in. I don't know if you can tell that that's at an angle or not. And then I'll go ahead and I'll push down on this other side, and I don't know if you can see, but it's just beginning to expand this side. It's not expanding any of the other parts of the can, just that one side. And I won't go very far in. You can see there, that's maybe 1/4 of an inch. And then I'll pluck my can back out, and you can take a look and kind of see where that expansion has started, but how it doesn't go the whole way around. And I'll just, basically I'm rotating the angle of the can to an unexpanded portion and doing the same thing again. And I continue this process the entire way around the can. Trying to make sure that I get an expanded edge the whole way around. You can see here it's not expanded. Again, rotating the portion of the expansion. And it's going to be a tedious project. It's going to take you a while. Sorry for the long video here. But I've seen some people asking on YouTube. I noticed Xanadu, I think it's JW1, had at one time was curious, and I just wanted to do a demonstration on it. I know some other people are probably wondering. A lot of people end up with the rim fitting just around the can because it does seem like it just won't go in there. So you have to expand the edge the whole way around, and this is the process that I use to get to that point. Now you can see here I have a pretty even expansion the whole way around this can. I can take my mallet, if I think this one end is up just a little bit higher, get it in. Now I'm probably just under 1/2 of an inch, which is about where I want to be, because when I cut down my can tops, I always cut them down at 1/2 of an inch. So you'll see here, hopefully, we should just start to get the fit. There we go. Got the fits in. Push it down till it's kind of snug. Right there it snugs up with about, between 1/4 and 1/8 of an inch of space. And then I'll just go ahead and take it all the way down in. However, with this particular one, I'm doing the bottom, so I'm doing the same thing, just using the bottom of this can. And hopefully not messing anything up here. And again, very important to take it all down evenly if possible, in order to get that watertight seal. And I will say that when it's done this way, that once you add heat to it later, you'll get a better seal. Then I'll take my mallet around here. Now I'm pushing down with my hand a little bit this way and using the mallet to just gain that extra little bit of oomph that I'm looking for. Try to get this thing properly seated. Now if this was a top portion, I would have done that using the top edge, but I didn't want to ding this up, so I flipped it over. Anyhow, probably could give it some light taps up here, but in order to get that pressure I'm looking for, I'm going to do it from the top. What I'm trying to do here is, there's a small rim that runs the whole way around, and I want to get that bottom seated real firmly on that rim that runs around there. I pretty much have it right there. So there's getting the bottom in. Now I did have this started. Let's see if I can. Okay. So I have the top now to do, and what I'm doing here is a top that I've not popped yet, because what I want to do is I want to store some things in here, just like I'm making my own can to pop open later. And what I could do is put a whole cook kit in here and just kind of stick it in my glove box maybe, or something like that, or a survival kit, and include a stove and some fuel in there and a lighter, along with whatever other survival essentials I would need. And if this was in my glove box, then I could just pull it out if ever there was an emergency. I could have some tea, maybe some kind of little bit of food in there or something even, and I could have something to eat or something hot to drink, just popping the top, peeling it open, and having the rest of the contents that I would need inside. So anyway, alright, sorry, I had to take a pause there. I had a few things I wanted to gather up. I was trying to fit some stuff in here when I'm ready to put this top on. Kind of like a little gift package that can be popped open. So anyway, just before I go ahead and finalize this, I want to show you, I did make a little hole right here in the lid, because once I push this on and pressure fit it, there could be air in there that could build up and perhaps pop the bottom off or something like that. So I just wanted to make sure that I said that before I went ahead and put this top on. But then the top is going to be the same thing as I did for the bottom. I'm just going to start, I'm going to work my way around, and I'm slowly going to expand the top one little side at a time and rotate that expansion the whole way around. You want to be careful not to go too far down as you're working on that expansion, because if you expand the aluminum too far beyond the bottom, you won't get a good seal. And if you don't go down far enough, when you go to push this in, you could potentially get a kink, and then also sacrifice the seal that you're looking for. At least that's how it works out with the aluminum that I use. It may be a little bit different if you're using a stainless steel can. However, I don't use the stainless steel. I'd rather deal with a little bit of BPE from the aluminum. You get the same thing in the steel, and you also get the additional rust. Like let's say you're out, you got your cook kit set up somewhere, or you got it set out a little bit, you just washed it out and you got to let it sit overnight and you're camping. I always ended up with a rust ring around the bottom and the top portion where the lid was cut off whenever I used steel cans, tin cans. So switch to aluminum now. The Vienna Bites cans work very well. You can use the tops and the bottoms. I like those cans. So now I got it worked in here pretty well for the top. So I'll go ahead and just check to see if I can fit this. And we're just about there. Might need to expand just slightly more at the very top. Now this is just, like I said, how I do it. There's probably some other methods out there that you might be able to find. I just noticed that some people were wondering online. I also had some friends of mine that were curious as to how I get it in there. And so this is just a video to show the technique for those that are interested. And actually seeing it happen. So looks like getting real close, but not quite. You can get a little bit more expansion on either of any sides just by giving that can a little more tilt when you very first start into it. Like I said, it's always better to have to go back a couple times and re-expand and get it so it's just enough rather than it be too much. Too much could potentially get leaks. So right there I'm in the whole way around. All I'd have to do from there is go ahead and evenly press it down the whole way. But before I do that, I have a few things I wanted to add. Which I'm going to wrap because I don't want them to scratch up the inside during any shipping. This will just allow me to get more things inside of a smaller package, and hopefully, not to mention, make it somewhat like opening a present for the person who's receiving this. There we go. Just slowly pushing it down here, trying to make sure that I'm even all the way around. And this is when I get into using this mallet. Try and make sure that I'm going down evenly. This may be a process that some people just aren't interested in because it seems like too much. hear when it's seated. You'll hear the difference. So there it is. Alright, so one additional thing, I forgot to mention this. A lid for this pot. There's a lot of different ways to do it yourself, lids. What I like to do is just take the bottom portion of another can and cut it off right where the lip sticks out here on the sides, and then I go ahead and I dull the edges with some actually I use a grinding wheel and some of this stuff here. I'm not sure what the heck it's called, some of the scrubby pad stuff. Anyways, then I make a hole in the center, and I usually put some 550 cord in here, and in this one I just got a couple small vent holes for steam so it doesn't pop the lid off the top. But once this is out of the way, that'll sit right on there. Like for example, this here's it's just a cat food can, same size as the Vienna sausage. So I'll go ahead and just show you guys that it fits right inside snugly, just enough that you'll be able to get it out with some 550 cord, or in this case I just squeeze the can and I can get it to come out. So anyway guys, just wanted to show you that. There'll be a lid that'll go with that piece of kit, and it doesn't quite fit inside of there, but anyways, that's that for now, and I'll catch you guys back here real soon.